Welcome, my friends. This is Archangel. I came across this article a few days ago on Yahoo. It starts off by saying, when you think of a victim of domestic abuse, who comes to mind? If you're being honest, it's probably a woman. After all, domestic violence against men isn't a theme of many Hollywood movies. Yet in 2010, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released data from its National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey, and one of the most shocking statistics wasn't the sheer total victims of physical violence, but also how those numbers broke down by gender. Roughly 5,365,000 men had been victims of intimate partner physical violence in the previous 12 months, compared with 4,741,000 women. By the study's definition, physical violence includes slapping, pushing, and shoving. The CDC repeated the survey in 2011, the results of which were published in 2014. And found almost identical numbers, with the percentage of male severe physical violence victims slightly rising. Reports are also showing a decline in the number of women and an increase in the number of men reporting abuse, says counselor and psychologist Karla Ivankovich, PhD and adjunct professor of psychology at the University of Illinois Springfield. Ivankovich says there isn't much buzz about these numbers because we don't know how to handle intimate partner violence against men. Society supports that men should not hit women by virtue, but the same is not true for the reverse, she explains. The fact is, it's simply not acceptable to hit anyone. Yes, something Archangel has been preaching all his life. Moving on. Yet woman-on-man violence is often turned into on-screen amusement, like a slew of reality shows, or the punchline of a larger, depressing narrative, says Ann P. Mitchell, a retired professor of family law at Lincoln Law School of San Jose, California, and one of the first fathers' rights lawyers in the country. She points to the case of John and Lorena Bobbitt, which made national news more than 20 years ago when Lorena cut off her husband's penis. The aftermath turned into a circus, and details would go on to reveal a volatile marriage. But Mitchell says the initial response of many radio and talk shows was just to laugh off the incident. Yeah, see my junk file series. If something remotely similar happened to a woman, there would have been a very different response, Mitchell tells Yahoo Health. Mitchell, who has legally represented numerous male victims of domestic violence, says abuse is typically difficult for men to process, let alone seek help for. Men are brought up to believe it's not okay to hit a woman or even hit back in self-defense. She explains it is their job to protect her. Add in that you will be a laughingstock if you said your woman hit you. So in the situation of the battered husband, you don't know how to feel. They know it's shameful, they don't want her to get in trouble, so they do not say anything. Further down, it states, physical violence carried out against men is often similar to physical violence against women, Ivankovich says. Though it can differ, abusive women have been known to abuse in similar ways to men, including punching, kicking, biting, and spitting. She says, in some instances, to make up for the differences in physical strength, women might use weapons, including bats, guns, or knives. Sometimes, many times, women-on-man abuse has nothing to do with throwing punches or weapons. Rather, it's emotional. In addition to physical abuse, women also engage in psychological abuse, Ivankovich adds. This controlling mechanism can include humiliation, intimidation, and belittling words or statements. There is another psychological tactic used against men. No one will believe you. Men fear the possibility that others will think they are lying or that they are actually the ones perpetrating the abuse, Ivankovich says. The article goes on to further delve into other aspects of female victimizers, things that we, as awakened, liberated males, already know. So, anyhow, did you catch that? Did you understand the theme to that article? More men are domestic violence victims, which means women are the majority of domestic abuse victimizers. Yet I could go out right now and get in my car, turn on the radio, and hear public service announcements calling for support of female domestic victims. You know, the same old propaganda which paints the picture of the mean, abusive, alcoholic Goliath who beats down his mousy wife because she didn't put hot dog slices in his macaroni and cheese. Moreover, I notice how this article is written by a female and all experts cited were female. And further on in the body of the article, one female expert professes that we still live under a patriarchy. So even as these females discuss the effects of infantilization and entitlement, they are still trying to invoke patriarchy and female victimization narrative, that we all live under the oppression of males, and now males are victims too. Moreover, it's not that the females contributing to this article care about male welfare, but rather such females discuss these things because they are paid to. An author is paid to write an article. Psychologists are paid to address male clients. And lawyers are paid to address male clients. So there still is subterfuge involved here. Plus, it's possibly a career boost to address what others do not. Oh, wow, she has the courage to address the tough issues. Let's hire her. There is always an exploitable market in the unpopular, such as male welfare, especially if you are a female and you pretend to care. Yeah, you want to see what a female pretending to care about male welfare looks like? Look up traditionalist women or anti-feminists. Next, many people will concede, well, they have to concede after these numbers, that, okay, fine, maybe there are more females that smack their man in the head when he's being stupid and deserves it, but guys still kill females more. And then they go off topic and invoke other gender statistics, such as human trafficking numbers broke down by gender, etc. You see, it's called distract and divert attention back to the female. Doing a gender domestic abuse statistics search will return to you an overwhelming deluge of dubious numbers, all of which paint males as the most brutal, ruthless, deviant species ever to call this planet home. Just doing a general statistics search will turn many into white knights and social justice warriors because these skewed, propagandized numbers look so horrid and female oppressive that we need to further abuse males in order to protect the population of fragile flower petals. Yet the numbers are there, and to the chagrin of the vaginisty, these numbers are leaking out. Females domestically abuse males more. Moreover, when it comes to abuse broken down by gender, is this argument a tit for tat? Oh, okay. Well, then I will see your human trafficking female statistics and raise you male mortality statistics of all wars ever. If we want to cherry pick and go off the conversational reservation, there we go. So much propaganda and gynocentric agenda promotion is going on here, to the point that when the average fence sitter sees these statistics of females being killed by an X with an axe every few seconds of every day around the globe, you envision that he is a demon and she is a helpless angel, and thus a call to arms is ignited, and white knights are born and manginas graduate to simp status. You see, males, unfortunately, are also gynocentric, and they will protect females. However, when females manipulate a male for utility, then simply discard him, some males do not take so kindly to such usury. I speculate that most male-to-female abuse is a male responding to a female's offensive trespasses. She maliciously acts, and he angrily reacts. Also, since we infantilize females to that of exalted children who know not what they do and thus are held above consequences for their own actions because of this infantilization, and males having to do and build and protect everything in society, thus in the past or even present, males will treat the wife or girlfriend as he would a child. So when a child misbehaves, they get a spanking. So when an infantilized yet equal wife or girlfriend misbehaves, she gets physical reprimand just like a child would. This would explain many abuses of the past. Yeah, princess, you want to be infantilized. You want to be coddled and pampered with lesser responsibility in society? Okay, fine. Then you will be reprimanded as a child with a slap or a switch to the backside when you misbehave. Now, no violence against any other is acceptable, but males are much worse off than females in today's world. Males are abused, manipulated, and used by women for everything. And it has always been this way. Only now, little bits of truth are starting to leak out. The internet is the first tool of male liberation, and we are starting to see the truth leaked out in the form of numbers which don't get much fanfare. You see, I am a peddler of male devaluation and disposal truths. Now, I speak to the heart of people. I speak to a place beyond conscious resistance or bias. People know deep down that there is truth to the words and messages I disperse. And in most cases, because my messages oppose their belief structures, thus fear arises within them. And in that fear, many will seek to disparage the messenger by critiquing details rather than address the import of the message in its totality. Now, granted, in my passion and zeal, I simply take the bigger picture and feed it to you. I am less concerned about details. Some people are fastidious citers of the resources and statistics that influence their messages, and I have been criticized for not citing my assertions more clearly. Well, I don't need to, because I peddle truths that people can feel, and besides, validation always follows my messages. I am a bigger picture ideologist, and bibliographies have never really been my strong suit. However, when I came across this article, it affirmed a statement I made in another video. I recently did a video called Bad Girls, in which I proffered that males are more victimized in domestic abuse. Well, I just happened to come across this article not 2 days ago, which confirms my assertion. It's curious how things manifest as I peddle my red pills. I made another video about suicide called Self-Termination, and in retrospect, I discovered that as I was uploading the video on a particular night at a particular time, I later learned that the very same night, at around a similar time, a family member of a guy I know was hanging himself because of a divorce. Whew, how eerie is that? At nearly the same time I am uploading a video about male suicide because of male devaluation and disposability, there was a male actually doing it. Anyhow, I made the bad girl video, then someone tries to argue my assertions and boom! Here comes a female authored article to confirm my assertions. And I still assert that if we knew the true numbers of female-to-male violence, the female victimizers would trump male numbers 2 to 3 times. Yet, because of the many devious underpinnings here, most notably shame, we will never know the true male victim numbers in any country. Females abuse males more. I peddle truths, and even though I might not do thesis paper citings of my assertions, I peddle truths, and people can feel my truths, and this instills fear in dissenters. My friends, my brothers, rise against abuse, devaluation, and disposability. Stand with me, live free.